Hey everybody, Wrestlemania, the annual spring showcase of the Immortals. 40 years, just as big as the NFL Super Bowl. Iconic professional wrestlers have made their mark here. Hulk Hogan, Bret the Hitman Hart, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena, and so many more. This event brings together fans of the old and the new to celebrate the spectacle that is World Wrestling Entertainment, the WWE. And for the second time in history, WrestleMania has finally returned to the home of Extreme Championship Wrestling, home of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am Xavier Excellence Collier, Double XC, the host of the Double XC podcast, and I will be sharing my first time at WrestleMania experience. And I won't be sharing this experience alone. I have a few guests to discuss Mania with. I have DJ, a host of the Red Rose FGC community in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Introduce yourself.
Hello. I am, as you said, I'm a resident Red Rose FGC member, and glad to be here discussing WrestleMania today.
And a friend and future pro wrestler in the making from Cass Point, Philly training school, the Maestro. And y'all can't see him, but he's wearing an AEW hat.
Yo, it's John Yo, the Maestro. Like Xavier's first time at WrestleMania. I'm happy to be here and to talk about it.
Now, I only attended night 2 on Sunday and hosted a family watch party on Saturday night. Some of us attended both nights. So how this is going to work is we're going to go match by match of night 1, then night 2 as fast as we can, give our thoughts and reactions for each as fast as we can, then talk about WWE World and Superstore at the end. But first, I want to rewind the time back to 2008. I was young, so young, unlike Neil Young. I was in elementary school, a year before I learned how to play violin. This was a year when Twilight came out and everybody fell in love with vampires. Beyonce and Jay-Z got married. We had blockbusters like Dark Knight, Hancock, Iron Man, Hellboy 2, Kung Fu Panda, Indiana Jones 4. We had games like Saints Row 2, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and GTA 4. Nico, let's go bowling. Obama became the first African-American U.S. president. Rihanna hit us with that distributor. Ladies had the apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. We were quaking that Soldier Boy. Making love in the club. Kanye West dropped 808 and Heartbreaks. And we were all on Millie with Lil Weezy, baby. But none of that mattered when I came home from Monday nights under a curfew and heard the song, whoa, never give in. Whoa, never give up. And I just wanna be loved. WWE, end of the ruthless aggression era, beginning of the modern era. I started watching wrestling as a kid with my veteran dad, who's been watching the company since the first WrestleMania. That's a very long time. Fell in love with it from 2008 to 2014. John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Taker, DX, Bella Twins, Michelle McCool, Natalia, Beth Phoenix, CM Punk, even the Nexus. Been to a live show to see Nexus, CM Punk, and John Cena open the Philly show before the 2011 Super Bowl, and one SmackDown show for my 13th birthday. By the time the streak ended, The Shield and Brock Lesnar came along, Triple H became an Authority member. I had stopped watching wrestling to focus on becoming a musician and make it through high school. Then I came back in summer of 2022 when you heard Brock Lesnar fought Roman Reigns using a freaking tractor to lift the ring, and Philadelphia hosted the 30th anniversary of Raw's XXX in January 2023, the Monday before the Royal Rumble. Now enough reminiscing. It's time to talk about WrestleMania XL Saturday. Alright, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
So, this is the first WrestleMania without the founder and CEO, Vince McMahon. Triple H is now the chief content officer now. Blood and cursing has come back in the past 4 months of 2024. We're definitely in a new era of WWE, no longer the modern PG era. And the only thing ruining this Mania weekend was the weather. I wasn't there Saturday, but it was cold in Philly. Probably the coldest Wrestlemania ever. So, the first match was Rhea Ripley versus the man Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. It's the World Championship, but I'm going to call it World Heavyweight because it looks just like it. I honestly didn't expect this match to be the first match. Did y'all think this would be the first match, or?
Honestly, no, I wasn't the first.
Yeah, I thought it would be like the second or second to last, but I was still excited for this. Becky showed up in like page covers of her new autobiography book that just came out. It looked a little cool. Never seen that kind of outfit before. Then Rhea, on the other hand, once again pulling off the goth Joker look again is wild. But it was cool to see a motionless and white perform a theme entrance. The match was great, good pacing, under 20 minutes. I was rooting for Becky, but somehow Rhea knocked Becky out, pulled off the Riptide, and defeated her second horsewoman for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. So my first prediction was wrong. I thought it would be Becky to win, but I thought everybody's Monday Night Mommy would lose the title, but looks like she's the future of the women's division, defeating her second horsewoman, Charlotte Flair, last year. And so now, match number 2 was crazy. A tornado tag team ladder match for the Raw and SmackDown Undisputed Tag Team Championships. The match was almost 20 minutes. The belts were separated by color brand, and the match did not end until both sets of belts were captured. 6 teams, 12 men, lots of landers. Now, WWE fans are no strangers to iconic tag team ladder matches, but this one was crazy. The New Day pulled up in Rocky style gear. The Judgment Day pulled up in purple horror style masks. DIY with like the new D-Generation X. Now during the match, Newcastle Republic was pulling off 2 crazy moonsaults from the ringside ladders. It was funny to see R-Truth, the oldest of the lineup, pull off a John Cena gimmick and think it was a win by pinfall match. But moving on, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller got the SmackDown tag titles first, so my prediction was right. But then Waller got pushed off and crushed onto an outside ladder bridge, breaking it and him with it. So he's out. Finn Balor got hit with a steel chair. JD McDonough, who was not a part of the match, went through a table. R-Truth finally takes out Damian Priest and wins the Raw Tag Team titles for him and The Miz. It was about time for R-Truth at 52 to win his first WrestleMania match, and for The Miz to get a win. He was losing 2 main matches last year, especially failing to be a WrestleMania host last year. Now, match number 3. Almost 12 minutes, felt a little rushed to me, but being a last-minute addition to WrestleMania, it was still cool to see Rey Mysterio in Eagles Pride gear with the Latino World Order versus his son, Dirty Dom Mysterio, for a second time, and Santos Escobar. So anyways, the best part of this match was obviously Eagles Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson making a cameo to help Rey Mysterio win the match. That was cool.
I was very excited for the. Was this Andrade's first WrestleMania match? I don't remember him having many Mania matches pre-leaving WWE.
Yeah, I don't think he had WrestleMania when they started the tag team together. I think this was Dom's second match in WrestleMania.
Yeah, so Dom's second match, Andrade's first. I think it was a really good showcase for everybody, and just like a good chance for Mysterio to know why he's captivated by that.
Match number 4. This next match hurts. I started making dinner at this point, so I missed the first half, but everyone said this match was the worst one, and we were all excited for this one. Another 12-minute match which needed to be 20 minutes. They cut the time. It needed to be 20 minutes or have bloodline rules, but brother versus brother, twin versus twin, blood versus blood, Uso versus Uso, the oldest twin sons of Rikishi, Icon. Day one is the Yeet Master main event Jey Uso versus Mr. No Yeet, Mr. Born a King, the big brother, Jimmy Uso. So we gotta start off by saying that Lil Wayne opening up for Jey Uso was awesome, a little awesome. I wish he'd done the whole Song of a Millie, but transitioning into Jey Uso's theme song was cool.
I will commend WWE for their reaching out for this whole years Lil Wayne and even many rappers in the audience. And then last year was Lil Uzi. I hope they continue this trend because hip hop music and wrestling just
it goes together.
Yeah.
Now this match holds some weight because every 15 years there's a brother versus brother Mania match. WrestleMania 10 was Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, and WrestleMania 25 was Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy. And usually the least favorite brother wins. But I was still rooting for Jay. But this is the worst match voted by everyone. One, the match felt rushed, and two, they spent the whole time doing super kicks. I wish my coworker was here to tell me how many super kicks it was. I think it was like 16 to 17 super kicks total. I know they have
I thought that was awesome. Like match the pardon me. The pre-match video was like fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But like their movesets are way too similar. So, like people like it was cool having the yeet, no yeet back and forth whenever they do super kicks, but after this, there's not much to really grasp to, which is a shame because I love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think that was the worst. I think that's kind of a reason for that to be the worst match of that night, because it definitely was not.
Finally, somebody says it's the best.
People say that they do the same move. I mean, they're twin brothers. Like their move set hasn't really changed since their days as a tag team with a little modifiers here and there. But they made a great performance, and you knew what the story was between those two, which made it a better experience. The worst match on there was definitely the Raymond match. But that may just be it's definitely.
You think the LWO match was the worst one?
Yeah, I don't like Rey Mysterio. If anybody has outplayed their moveset or anything like that, it is Rey Mysterio. Plus, there was already an exciting. There was 3 tag matches that year. So, with tag matches being a slow-paced archetype anyway, with the exception of their adding a stipulation with the ladder match, then they're already gonna have a negative connotation on it anyway. But with the 3 tag matches that was happening, the ladder match was the best one. The main event was the second, and then the third one was the Rey Mysterio match. The reason why I say the Rey Mysterio match was not as good is because they really had to throw in I don't know, like the football guys. Not that it's because I don't watch football, but they needed to find a way to throw in something Philly related, and they chose a match that nobody really was excited to see. I was excited to see Rhea Ripley, who I knew was going to retain the title, and that wouldn't be appropriate to throw in football players for Philadelphia. They knew that. I mean, the ladder match. They knew that football players aren't going to be able to do that. And and they damn sure weren't going to throw them into the main event. So they had to throw in a lesser, I guess.
It was like the least anticipated,
emotionally filled match to throw in that kind of fight to get them excited for it because it's hometown. Also, I mean, the only thing that I would critique about Jay versus Jay match is why was Lil Wayne there? He was there for like 15 seconds and then he left. And then he performed. I mean, it would be. I would understand if he performed a theme song. He was there. He was just there to perform a Philly. You know, I was hoping Lil Uzi was going to be there. You know, he's from Philadelphia. But it's, you know, that's the only thing. Brother versus brother matches tend to be pretty great. So that's what I would say.
I had a thought while you were talking
about Rey Mysterio. You not like Rey Mysterio?
More so about the Jimmy, the fact that you were just going off Rey Mysterio aside. Something that I thought was missing from the Jimmy and Jay match, it wasn't like, of course they had their three beats in there, like Jimmy was like needing forgiveness, trying to like stand and everything, but there wasn't enough like captivating story stuff because this feud is like roiling over for like years now, and it's almost like emblematic of the Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns like matches, which had so much story, had like conversation, like 3 minutes in the match, and of course like I've already seen years much more. Watching back, it's like, wow, what so much, like progressing so much. I love that for Jimmy versus Jay. I think similar to how you said, like, you know, they have very smooth stuff. They've been tag team for forever. They have a little bit of a limitation on that regard. If you have a limitation there, just do more stories. That's what made us kind of eat up by a person, right? And there wasn't a lot of that, which I didn't experience, but that's just me.
Yeah, not a lot of story building. Like they're probably still cool off script because like wasn't a lot of story building after SummerSlam, so it felt a little forced to keep making Jey Uso lose the title thanks to Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. So when they did the brother versus brother match against the Hardys, well, first off, did you like that match? Did any of you like that match?
The one at WrestleMania?
25, yeah.
I barely remember the match, but I think I liked it.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, do you know how many the storyline leading up to that? How short it was?
It was short, but it was outrageous.
Now, the reason why they could do it to have that timeline of why it was so short from the Royal Rumble, and then just 2 months of whatever, is because that the Hardys spent their whole careers with each other. So they could use a short storyline between the two because of the history that they've had amongst themselves their whole career. The same thing with them. So the storyline that they had, not even with their whole career, but just what they had with the bloodline, where they were with Roman Reigns together. One of them had to make a decision, and one stayed, one left. They tried to protect each other. They didn't know what to do. They came back. So that accumulating over time would lead to this match, and that's why I think something like that could pay off in the end, especially when they came out later on as well when we get to that section.
Yeah, at least there was no Solo Sikoa interference.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, I wouldn't want him to come out during that if he did.
At least they kept Saturday Night no bloodline interference. But moving on, at least like the Maestro said, at least The crowd kept the energy up with the yeets no yeets. In the end, Jimmy was trying to trick Jay, make him feel bad, have some sympathy in the middle of the battle, and then cheap shot super kick, and then an Uso splash, but Jimmy kicked out, pulled off a spear with an Uso splash, and that's all she wrote for poor Jimmy. Next, another last minute addition like the Rey Mysterio match. A 6-woman tag team match. Everybody was hyped for this. All Elite Wrestling's Jade Cargill making her second WWE pay-per-view debut match with the EST Bianca Belair and Glow Star Naomi versus Damage Control, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, my favorite diva of the current generation, the Pirate Princess Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. I think we all knew who was going to win this one. And
yeah, it was a squash match.
Yeah, the match was less than 10 minutes, but the pacing felt good to me. Felt like every woman got a chance to sign. Well, that's not true. I think Naomi had less legal ring time than everybody, but everybody in the stadium cheered when the Storm Jade Cargill entered the ring and was easily body and Damage Control one by one.
Yeah, that's one of those. It's one of those matches that they give you, and it's for like I call it stage appeal, where you know that the match doesn't need to be good, but it needs to be high energy and high entertaining. And it was a great choice to make, because with Jade Cargill being newly introduced, and this being her first WrestleMania, she would need to get used to that type of environment. And also, typically with debuts and stuff like that, if someone were to debut at WrestleMania, or they debut the Monday after WrestleMania, they usually have to put in a lot of work for that year to work their way up there. So I think having that first match that was 6 minutes, I guess, in a tag team with other women that have been there was super helpful, and they allowed her to show off what I guess some of the other hardcore fans already know. I don't watch that much anymore, but she looked great, both in the ring and whatever she had on, and it just led up to a perfect scenario to what might happen later with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill having some type of storyline.
Yeah, I definitely think this match was everything that it needed to be, and they definitely have like a load of stars in their hands. But Jade Cargill she is something. Like, she has the look, she has the appeal, and everything down. And the fans love her. Definitely introducing her alongside more stars. Raise her stock and more than the art is top praise. Definitely the right decision, and good match.
Yeah. So Asuka accidentally spits poison mist on her Kabuki sister Kairi. Jade pulls off the finisher, and the sisters win. Only 2 pay-per-view matches, no roster matches, and Jade Cargill had already made a strong first impression to the WWE Universe. And now we're on to our second to last match for the Intercontinental Championship. The Ring General Gunther versus my boy, last year's Saturday main event champion, Canadian and Syrian Arabic underdog Sami Zayn. The General was beating the brakes out of that man, I ain't gonna lie, but don't get twisted. Sami was getting some licks and grapples in too. I honestly didn't know if he would easily lose or pull up some kind of miracle before this match. He was fighting through the pain though, he really was. Escaping submission holds and body slam pinfalls. And how the match ended, he pulled off a brainbuster signature onto the turnbuckle, kicked Gunther's head in twice, and there you have it. The General was defeated, and the longest IC title reign was over. Sami Zayn became a back-to-back Mania champion.
This was personally my favorite match on the card. Because even if the appearance was favorite match, it was just me.
Breaking up a little.
This was the best match on the card. So storytelling wise, match expertise wise, pop feel, emotional, and just also match quality and what was on the line here. So it was your normal like underdog story, which we always get, but the way that they're able to explain that in different ways over these years makes that a lot better. There's a lot of cases where matches at WrestleMania that tend to be the best aren't always the main event, and that's okay. We damn sure know that with WrestleMania 18, 27, and so on and so forth. But that being said, I think raising the stock of Sami Zayn is what was the key factor here, and having him be in the ring with someone like Gunther, who has that prestige now of beating Pedro Morales' long-time reign with the Intercontinental Championship and such a prestigious championship title in the first place.
Not gonna lie, I was very much H and Gable believer that I was quite upset that Sami had gotten the title match or had gotten his match. However, the David versus Goliath match, like each other's match, overcoming all the odds made me a believer, which just shows how amazing is for even if you're not really part invested at the end. Anything is fantastic, and I, for one, lost my voice the top rope because I was like, oh, it's good. They could do something else. I've never seen this move since the olden days, and he did it, and I screamed, and everybody in my section screamed, and what a moment in time. Brainbuster, 2 kicks, new champion. Electric, I can't use any other word. It was electric.
Right. So I guess now it's time for Saturday night main event of night 1. The first time 2 warriors would main event both nights of WrestleMania. Son of the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and Seth freaking Rollins versus 2 Samoans. Roman Reigns, an undisputed WWE champion for 3.5 years, which is over 1,300 days, in remission of leukemia, which is cancer in the blood cells, and teaming up with his legitimate older cousin, the great one, the people's champ, most electrifying man in sports entertainment, and now the final boss, returning after 8 years, 11 years as a WrestleMania main eventer versus John Cena a second time. The Rock was originally supposed to fight Roman Sunday night for the head of the table, a battle between the Samoan bloodline, but with all the pressure after the Rumble, the fans' chants, the social media threats to The Rock's daughter, NXT manager Ava Raine, and seeing the big Samoan and Tongan family tree, Cody Rhodes finally challenged Roman Reigns at the kickoff show. They both disrespected each other's family and mentioning the late High Chief Peter Maivia's name pissed off The Rock. Rock and Cody slapped each other over the build-up time, and the challenge was answered. to have a tag team match to decide the stipulations of Sunday night main event. So first off, my throat was hurting, having to explain to the old heads at the house party, watch party, why an over 50-year-old Rock is still fighting, and why does he have a championship given to him by Muhammad Ali's wife from the Hall of Fame. Second, the Boss Rock entrance with the People's Champ belt was awesome. Look, you guys gotta look at the flaming bull at the entrance. The old school Hollywood Rock theme mixing well with the new school Rock theme. Now, fast forward to everybody in the ring. To be honest with y'all, I knew Rock still had it in him. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would think like Rock is older, like he probably doesn't have it in him anymore. He's like 6'4" abs now, but I had a feeling he was going to be able to fight for this match. I wanted the Samoans to win for Saturday, only to let it be Bloodline rules for Sunday, and have Cody push through and win. We started this match fighting. They started this match fighting at ringside near the crowd. The Rock was punking the ref, telling him not to count out or he's fired. That's why I'm like, dang, he can make executive decisions like that. But the man,
he fires the referee or like counting him out, like he fires the cameraman for getting in the way, and like he still, really called that's just fired all the ring crew. Use your power.
Yeah, the man was straight up destroying Seth at ringside. The man was recovered from his injuries only to be injured again. During the match, Seth and Cody hit the finishers on Roman, but then Rocky pulls the ref out of the ring before he counts to 3. And so the OG stayed disrespecting Cody and Mama Rose, who was at ringside. Rock tried to hold his feet down for Roman's guillotine lock submission and almost was KO'd until Seth saved him by kicking Roman's face in. This was the wild scene that everybody thought was funny. I think I know what I'm talking about. Roman hit the ooh ah, tried to spear Cody, but spears the Rock instead. It was the way Rocky was selling the tackle for me. Like the OG couldn't handle the pain.
You think he got shot with a cannon, man? He was holding his stomach and screaming. I'm like, yo, that must have hurt.
Then a double pedigree from Seth and Cody. They ain't do nothing. They kicked out of it. And so the Rock's plan at ringside backfired as Cody rock bottomed him through the commentary table. But then Roman speared Seth through the announcer barricade in the next few seconds. Cody and Roman in the ring throwing punches. Cody was about to use his crossroads finisher for a third time, but moved to the ropes, kind of similar to last year. Then Rocky whipped him with that damn weight belt onto his back. Roman speared him, and that's how she wrote for Saturday night main event. And the ending to this felt like Philly redemption for the Samoans to me. Rocky redemption for losing to Stone Cold Steve Austin 25 years ago in Philly, the first time they fought. And Roman's redemption after winning the Royal Rumble in 2013 in Philadelphia with the Rock's help, and Philly didn't want him. So yeah, redemption. Kind of. But that was night 1, and this left Cody in the ring disappointing as last year, figuring out what am I going to do tomorrow night. What did y'all think?
Well, that was quite the visual, but in short, the Rock, I don't believe people ever doubted that he would have trouble in the ring, because he's constantly came back here and there, and he's a big movie star with all these action films. I think people are understanding of him and his Iron Paradise and how physically fit he still is at 50 whatever. So I think he knows how important it is to keep that up, and also and I think his training revolved around him sculpting his body, not necessarily, training for exhaustion, because I think the matches he's done over the years are pretty much second nature, so he could do them without really, suffering any kind of brutal or an intense, way. But in terms of the match, I think it was excellent to see him paired up with a fellow Samoan that is pretty much equal or under his level at the current state that he was at. Also, I think the him versus Roman at WrestleMania, where they switched the plans, was a work. I don't believe that they were going to allow him to do that, especially when he already won the Royal Rumble. It would make no sense for him to go for the World Heavyweight Championship when Roman is still the champion. So I think that was a work. I think that was done intentionally so that they could be more invested in the WrestleMania. So the match itself, I like that it was more about the stage play rather than just it being a good match, because we all wanted to see the cheap tactics. We all wanted to see them go outside the ring. We always wanted to see what the interactions, rather than it just being hot tags. They do the duck under, leapfrog, stuff like that. So with the story being built as it was, I think it really played off of its gimmicks. I kind of expected them, the Rock and Roman Reigns, to win so they could set up for the next night. But I didn't really know how that was going to work. So the way that they pulled it off with the weight belt at the end kind of made it a little bit more real, especially with him sitting there like Cena did 8 years ago.
Yeah, I think you guys everything that you guys said. I think The Rock did fantastic knocking back after a long period of inactivity. He is really one of the greatest of all time. So what he might beat out. I think the match was great. Definitely wanted is a weird term, but I definitely felt from Interpark winning was I've been stacked the deck against the final night. I got that enough.
Now that we got through night one, I guess now we're going to talk about my first time at WrestleMania. So, I grabbed a coat because I knew it was going to be cold Sunday night. Shame too, because I was wearing my green SVW Hardcore Cafe shirt as I'm wearing today. Shout out SVW on South Street, Philadelphia, has a collection of all the championships, action figures, movies, DVDs, video games. Awesome. I took a Scepter bus for an hour, listened to my favorite WWE themes, met my co-worker Matt at the parking lot. We walked to the packed entrance, used the bathroom, saw Biggie and CM Punk at the kickoff table, took the escalator to my seats, and being me, I was humbly excited going into first WrestleMania. The excitement didn't kick off yet until I was there, until the show started. My excitement changed as time passed on. I got to sing along to themes, finally chant with a live WWE crowd. I was in awe when I went to my section in the nosebleeds and saw the perfect view of the tinted ring and the XL stage. I was a bit disappointed they didn't make a Rocky Steps entrance, They had like a big screen, a digital bell, two giant letters, and lettering similar to WrestleMania 31. But it actually wasn't that bad. What did y'all think of the stage?
Well, being there both nights, where I was sitting, the first night at least, the second night I had better seats, but the first night I was behind. I was kind of diagonal from the stage or from the entranceway. So
you had the pole?
Saw things. Yeah, I saw things from behind, but it wasn't like I didn't want to sit directly behind the entrance. I wanted to see the people come out. But I didn't know if, since this was my first WrestleMania as well, and I'm glad that it was 2 nights, especially since I felt like leaving that first night, I just felt like if this was one night, I would feel like I would want more, and how I'm used to how they were doing it in the old days, where it was just one night, so they had to cram all the really big matches. So I'm glad that I didn't have to go home and feel like, man, if only there was another night. But so I wasn't too sure if I was gonna be able to make it to WrestleMania anyway, and if I was gonna even be excited about it, knowing how far this was gonna set me back, how expensive these tickets are.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the one thing that changed it for me was when I first heard Triple H's music live, and then it comes on. I was like, okay, I'm actually a fan again, because I don't know, it's something when it's really loud and it's like it just hits, and you see them walking. It's like that's actually the person you grew up watching. So now it just kind of 180. So I was able to enjoy the entire night. I wasn't too sure how cold it was going to be, so I didn't bring my jacket. And then it became 50 degrees out there for 5 hours. So I was definitely layered up for the next night.
Going off of that, the feeling of being inside of the stadium, Mania, was kind of unlike anything else, because you have your experience when you're at home enjoying the product, watching. You get to feel in tune with what you see to a certain degree, but there's a little bit of separation because sitting on your couch watching on TV. And then even if you go to a live show and a smaller location, you get a bit more that feeling of authenticity, I guess you would call it. Very confusing and being around like-minded people. But for WrestleMania 40, I imagine the feeling is similar for me as well. The magnitude of everything. The set is massive, massive EXO and full screen. Massive overhang over the ring. When people crashing, people are screaming. It's a different experience. It feels a lot more real, especially being around hundreds of other people who are all screaming their heads off. It's that feeling of community, which you don't really get when you're sitting at home. Because wrestling it's popular, but it's not as popular as it used to be. You don't really get that feel of community until you're in this live show where who are just like you, who are chanting the same name as you, who are singing the same lyrics, who are reacting, the same way as you. You don't get that until you're around those people. Then the experience of seeing these when you on TV and growing up with in person, it's a crazy experience. I thought the experience of being at the live show was fantastic. I thought the set was great as well. One thing that I would have commented on regarding the set is I hope you guys heard it as well, but the lights were very bright, kind of main set. This led to multiple times during the night turn the lights off chant.
Yeah, that was Yeah, that's a highlight chant of the night for night two. Definitely during the second match.
I was in the section that started that chant. It was hilarious.
So for the first match, so 5 to 10 minutes before the first match starts, we hear the Living Color theme song, and everybody sings and chants CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. It was so awesome to finally see him a second time. I even have the CM Punk gloves on. It was so cool. Even he was special commentary for the first match, but it was still cool to see him there. We get a Meek Mill intro. I honestly thought he would be there performing, but I guess he's there with his family watching the show. But it was cool. He had an intro. First surprise of the night: Stephanie McMahon opens the show and uses Triple H DX quote, "Are you ready?" It was so cool to see her back.
Sorry to interrupt. Did you stand for the Philadelphia National Anthem, Streams and Nightmares?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a national anthem of the city, man.
I kind of got tired of the anthem, but it still hits sometimes. Like for this moment, yeah, it hits. So, first match of Sunday night, World Heavyweight Championship match. The entrances were cool. Got me beating my chance to gallantry. Drew McIntyre got a whole band with bagpipes. And on the other hand, there's only one man that can have the wacky looking orchestrated Philly Mummers parade for his entrance, and that's Seth freaking Rollins. Not really a big fan of him, but I love singing with the crowd his theme song. The match was only 10 minutes, but I feel like the pacing was alright. I wasn't rooting for either of them, but it was cool. Drew, of course, not even a few minutes in, was mean mugging CM Punk at ringside. I'm not even gonna hold you how the match went down. Drew wins. He hugs his wife at ringside. He should have grabbed her and ran home, but kind of like Ronda Rousey and her man. But no, he walks to Punk, gets on the table, mocks him with the DX chop, and well, he messed around and found out. CM Punk took off the fractured arm brace, finally beat up Drew for a little bit for injuring him, blows a kiss like it's Money in the Bank 2011 all over again, and in this moment, Drew knew he effed up. As Damian Priest, Senior Money in the Bank, runs to ringside, hits him with the briefcase, cashes it in just 9 seconds. Choke slam, 1, 2, 3. The greatest heist in Mania history. Second to Seth in Mania 31, because he did it during the match. That's still one of the greatest moments. And we all rise for the Judgment Day, even me for once, because I'm not rooting for the Judgment Day, but at this moment I'm happy for Damian Priest. And Judgment Day had 2 World Heavyweight Champions at that time. Now, my prediction, I only got half a point because I thought Priest would interfere during the match, not after the match when Drew won. But it was still a winning prediction. And this is what happens when you play for the downfall, Drew. Y'all thoughts on this match?
I mean, we all knew Damian Priest was going to use his briefcase, so nothing really to look forward to. Just another how. He started his career in Philadelphia, so I mean, to the hardcore fans that do know that, casual fans like myself that didn't, well, I kind of did, but that wouldn't know that. I think we all knew that he was going to do that. He wasn't going to use it on, Cody or Roman, so there was only one other option. So I think that with that with a lot of the fans in that stadium kind of knowing that's what was going to happen, it kind of took away what the match kind of was going to do. And I'm kind of glad it went first, because I think with that anticipation, it wasn't going to really hold over well as exciting, especially with the mummers coming out. I mean, I haven't seen mummers since they used to run marathons of the parades over the years on the CW.
Yeah, I've yet to go into a mummers New Year's parade yet.
Please don't. Just, just watch it on TV. It's on CW. I think they run marathons from like every year, from like 88 all the way up to now. So just go to Mardi Gras. That's better.
It's almost a little bit the same to see Seth said he got recovered just to get injured again, sacrifice his World Heavyweight title just to help Cody Rhodes finish the story, which we will get to in a moment. But let's go to the second match, which was one for the ECW fans. Philadelphia Street Fight 6-man tag team match. It was so cool having Snoop Doggy Dogg as special commentator and ECW legend Bubba Ray Dudley as the special referee. Another ECW legend, Bobby Lashley, with the Street Profits versus Karrion Kross and the Final Testament. The match was only a few minutes less than 10 minutes. And again, that's the time when everybody was chanting, please turn the lights off, even though I could see. They didn't really use any original dangerous ECW weapons, but it was still fun despite the angry nosebleed crowd chants. They were using chairs, trash bins, kendo sticks. Even the ladies were fighting at ringside. And now the match ended. Karrion Kross disrespected Dudley, and when he put on the glasses, it was a wrap. We had the brothers in the ring, Kross on the floor, and the crowd screamed an old ECW quote. 1, 2, 3, get the tables! And I don't know why, but the first table broke by itself. A little embarrassing. So they got the second table, jumped over Kross, and the Pride won. A short match, but a good match for the home of the Extreme.
Short little car crash. Great to see Snoop Dogg. Great to see Bubba Ray Dudley back in Philadelphia, the home of Extreme. Yeah, like you said, this is when the chants started. Now, I'm happy that you could see, but like sometimes the glare got to the point where like I couldn't see the screen at all, and then some of the stuff was like obstructed on the ground level. So it's like, yeah, I joined the chant. I could see. Everybody get it together. Turn the lights.
Just fan service again. Gonna give as much of a homage to ECW as possible before they did Hall of Fame walkouts and stuff. So, I mean, nothing really different to say. Street Profits with their Eagle-inspired outfits, Philadelphia Eagles inspired outfits, and with their green and white. I be honest, I mean, this is pretty forgettable. I didn't even remember who was in it. I just remember, Bubba Ray being a special guest referee, and then the table spot. I didn't even realize Snoop Dogg was out there. I was like, why is Snoop Dogg here? But he's everywhere. He was there in Texas. He's, of course, going to be there in California. He was there in Florida. So, of course, he's going to be there in Florida.
Yeah, and he has golden title back. I'm surprised they didn't have him versus Gritty. I'm surprised they didn't have Gritty or Birdie show up.
Who?
The mascots.
Thinking anymore, so he's just doing side quests. He should.
Well, they had the mascot like dancing in the ring with the cheerleaders, but I think they do that at every sports stadium that they. They did it in Texas, WrestleMania 32. I'm sure they would have did the same thing with the Buccaneers, but it's okay. They're figurable. What's the next one?
The third match. Not going to talk about this one too much. The WrestleMania veteran, the OC, the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the megastar making his first WrestleMania appearance, LA Knight. Yeah. I was shocked when AJ came out with a new theme. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. 12-minute match. These men were wasting no time, but everybody in Philly had LA Knight's back with the yeah chants. And of course, he won. Yeah. Okay, so next up, number 4. Triple threat match for the U.S. title. Champion, boxer, and prime energy drink endorser, still not drinking it, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens, the main event from last year, versus the Viper, the Legend Killer, Mr. RKO, Randy Orton. I was excited to finally see Orton live in the ring. I was rooting for KO to win the gold, especially since the feud is between KO and Paul. OG Orton is just there for fan service. Logan came out in a prime truck and a walking prime mascot, but KO understood the affiliate assignment. He had an ECW style entrance screen. He and Orton came through in a golf cart. You can't tell me you don't love this new and older Randy Orton, just going with the flow. But the match was good. It was almost 20 minutes. Unfortunately, it didn't take long for KO and Orton's alliance to crumble. Randy tried to go for an RKO, but no. KO's not falling for that early in the match. All you need to know is RKO's were delivered to both Paul and KO. KSI was the mascot. Orton did him dirty. He got destroyed at ringside through the commentary table. Randy tried to go. Oh no, that's not it. He gave an RKO to KO and was about to win, but Logan steals his win by tossing him to the ring post. He's out. Frog splash, and he's still the champion. Unbelievable. So my prediction so far for WrestleMania was 2.5 matches wrong. Your thoughts?
Speed was the only thing that...
Oh, it's Speed, not KSI, my bad.
Yeah, Speed was the funniest part about that match. I'm not attached to the U.S. title, so there's nothing I can really... I think it was more so just seeing Randy Orton in person and seeing Logan Paul wrestle. Because I haven't really watched him wrestle a full match. So if he's not in the Royal Rumble or anything like that, I haven't watched him. So seeing him do his jump, the springboard, foot clothesline thing, it's cool. Prime logo in the middle, but the Speed thing was pretty much the highlight of that night.
At least Randy Orton took away his brass knuckles.
Yeah. I will add, I thought the competition between KO and Randy Orton about I think was also kind of funny. I do questions about the announce table. Kevin taking the turn, Randy again, and also Speed being RKO'd on the announce table and then just selling it for the next 40 minutes. Just on the table, not moving, was great. I thought the triple threat match was actually pretty good. They had pretty good chemistry. I hate saying it, but Logan Paul is very ring. It kills me to say it because but he's very good, and I predicted he was going to retain. So
I give it to SummerSlam.
Yeah, catch. Who do you think he's going to drop it to? Do you have any ideas?
I don't think they're gonna give it to Kevin Owens or Randy Orton again. I don't know. It probably had to be somebody new. It can't be Carmelo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see LA Knight being the champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, second to last match, WWE Women's Universal Championship. Horsewoman and role model, not Willie, Bayley versus Damage Control champion Io Sky. Bayley had a nice entrance. Io came in style. Unfortunately, I was less excited about this one than I was about the man versus the goth mommy the night before. So I decided to finally go to the bathroom, get some pricey, expensive chicken tenders, and miss the entire match. And I finally got to meet up with you two, talk business, and we celebrate this moment finally being at WrestleMania in our hometown.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and icing on the cake, hearing Bayley's theme song hit and becoming the new champion. Called it. Did any of y'all watch the reruns? Because I haven't got to rewatch the match yet.
Well, I didn't need to because I watched all of it. I was actually excited to watch the Bayley match. That was the one that I was the most invested in besides the main event. And I'm glad she won. It wasn't like the greatest wrestling match, but I was still I still liked it.
Cool.
Plays or anything like that. New champ, very happy. Bayley definitely deserves it. I think well done. So let's go Bayley.
Now, originally we were all going to meet at a spot after the show, but we were all trying to get home quick. And we're past the hour margin, so finally we'll get to the final main event. The moment we all been waiting for. Round 2 of their rivalry at WrestleMania. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus the 1,316-day champion, the Samoan Big Dog, the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. I was down with Team Rose 100%. The man came in style. He had his wife with him wearing a crown skull helmet bigger than his head. It was so amazing to finally sing the Kingdom song with everybody. Whoa! Roman, on the other hand, had finesse. He had the Philadelphia All-City High School Orchestra and Choir open up for him. I didn't say the Philadelphia Orchestra. I said the Philadelphia All-City High School Orchestra and Choir. The Maestro and I, we have history. We've played in the All-City Orchestra before. Actually, I played in the orchestra for 1 year and the choir the year after. So for Roman Reigns to have high school orchestra play for him at WrestleMania, respect.
So jealous that we can be a part of that, seeing as we are alumni of the organization. But congrats to the All City High School Orchestra Choir. Congrats to Frank Makos. I think he was a actor. We'd love to see the representation.
So now, this match was Bloodline Rules, which meant no disqualification. The first 20 minutes was good, mostly both of them throwing punches at each other. The biggest takeaway was Roman not letting him use an outside weapon and using his crossroads against him, and he still tapped out. So let's be honest, the real highlight was the last 10 minutes. So to start off, Jimmy Uso comes from under the ring, but then main event Jey Uso showed up. Yeet. Laid a quick smackdown on his older twin brother, speared him, putting both of them through 2 tables by the side of the ramp. Drop out, get your GED. Fast forward to Solo Sikoa showing up in ring, Samoan Spike. Punch Rose right in the jugular, drags his cousin Roman on top of him, freezing, walks away from a pin, and Cody kicks out at 2. Yup, Solo did not like that. He's out here slowly becoming the next tribal chief, yelling at Roman to get up, ordering him to finally finish the story. They both hit Rose with a Samoan Spike and spear combo, and as he turns his back again, Cody kicks out a second time. And Solo's about to attack him again, but then one of our modern icons comes to the rescue, John Cena. He runs to the ring, wastes no time, hits an attitude adjustment to Roman. Excuse me. Then to Solo do the commentary table. But then the next moment is where everybody said, holy if you smell what The Rock is cooking. The final boss is here, marching to the ring unamused, a rivalry we thought we'd never see again. Cena and Rocky in the ring again, a Mania 28 and 29 reunion. Everybody's at this moment is on their feet now. Cena is wasting time doing his signature "You Can't See Me" and got caught lacking. Rock bottom, they keep doing Cena dirty even before he retires. It's getting a little tiring to see. Rocky was really out here saying, get the F out of my ring. And of course he has that damn weight belt for Cody. And just when he was about to get to him, a song plays that we never thought we'd hear again. Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield. Dun dun, dun dun, dun dun, dun dun. The Hounds of Justice, the Shield theme music is playing. The crowd is going crazy. I'm going crazy, losing my mind. Let's be honest, we all thought it was Jon Moxley from AEW in this moment. I'm like, wait a minute. Ain't he on AEW? What are you doing here? With all the banger matches in the past 3 hours, we all forgot about Seth Rollins. I had my camera pointed at the entrance, and I forgot Shield don't come out through the entrance. They come through the crowd. Rock can't see him on my side. Seth pulls up from the upper corner with a chair, but Roman sees him, runs back in the ring, and Superman punches him. Then casually rolls back out the ring. I was like, dang, not like that, Seth. Not like that.
He walked in, got punched, like, laid.
Yeah, now The Rock is really pissed off, disrespecting Mama Rose again, and really means it when he says, F your story. He's telling Cody to get up. The crowd is chanting for Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. He's about to hit him with a belt, but then something unexpected happens. Bung! Oh! The lights went out. Everybody screamed. Everybody going crazy. They got their lights on. I couldn't believe it. This can't be who I think it is. There's no way he's here. And then another bung. The lights go up, and there he is next to Rock, the greatest Mania winning streak holder, the dead man, the real final boss, The Undertaker. The Rock tries to use the belt, but Taker caught him, choke slam. As the lights goes off, the bong hits again, they both disappear from the ring. Now, this is where my script ends. Now I know everybody wanted Rocky's greatest rival Stone Cold to be here, but to be honest, this made more sense to me. This is like 10 years of WrestleMania 30 to 40 coming full circle. WrestleMania 30 is when The Undertaker's streak finally broke to Brock Lesnar in New Orleans. and the only second person to pin The Undertaker at WrestleMania was Roman Reigns and put him in retirement. So that's number one.
Okay. Let me stop you right there, Mister. All right. So I wouldn't say or kind of using the cards that they were dealt. We were very disappointed that Stone Cold did not show up. Now this how that turns full circle. I don't see the correlation because The Rock had nothing to do with him losing the streak. Paul Heyman wasn't, necessarily a superstar. I'm pretty sure, he's just there because of Roman. So, and then him being retired already, or him losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania was already trash because he lost to Goldberg as well. So we just didn't really need to see The Undertaker at WrestleMania again. After that, so
it's also when you think about it, it's like fan service, like for all the younger kids. Like how many people can say they've seen Undertaker appear at WrestleMania, let alone see him fight in a streak match?
That's okay. I mean, because there's not a lot of people that can say that they saw Hulk Hogan wrestle after he retired.
Sorry, I'm wrapping up.
The main thing is that he put in his hours and he can clock out. I don't think we necessarily need to see The Undertaker there. But like I said, we couldn't get Stone Cold, which is a shame. I think they should have bent over backwards to get him there, especially with Mr. WrestleMania being in Philadelphia against The Rock. But yeah, him being there, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I still think it was cool. The Rock, Stone Cold, and Undertaker, even Triple H, they have like the biggest rivalries of the Attitude Era. And I think I remember I was watching YouTube shorts. I think it was like a dream match to have The Rock and The Undertaker fight at WrestleMania, or at least if one of them won the Royal Rumble back then. But moving on. So how this match ended in the last 1 or 2 minutes. Lights come on. There's a chair in the middle of the ring. Roman Reigns is finally back in the ring. We have Cody on the other side. He picks up the chair. He's about to hit him with it, but then he sees somebody else on his left side. His Shield brother, Seth. And, well, for breaking up the Shield, he took his eye off the ball and saw this as revenge. And so Seth became what he said he was going to be, Cody Rhodes' Shield. And so Roman lets out one last ooh wah. Cody makes a kick block and then hits 1 crossroads, 2 crossroads. I'm hoping, please finish it with a 3rd crossroad. Don't play with us. Don't repeat last year. He hits a 3rd crossroads and 1, 2, 3. Everybody is excited. Everybody is screaming. Everybody is singing. We finally hear the new Universal WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes, and everybody came out to the ring. Randy shows up, LA Knight shows up, his wife shows up, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, CM Punk shows up. It was so good seeing him and Mama Rose hold that championship. Even Triple H show up to congratulate him. Yeah, so it was so cool to finally be in the room where it happens at WrestleMania. And then I didn't get to stay for the fireworks. I tried to rush home, catch the bus. Instead, I caught the train, made it home at 12:30 a.m. But I was so happy to finally be there. And then, still off the WrestleMania high, I woke up early in the morning, a little exhausted, hit it downtown, went to WWE World because it was a final day, and I had some fun. It was good to finally be there, even though it's the middle of a solar eclipse. Got to see the museum, got to meet Kairi Sane, Angelo Dawkins, take a few pictures. It was really cool. Bought myself an Undertaker hat and CM Punk gloves. I wanted to get Jimmy Uso Yeet glasses and a kids WWE championship and just those two things. Oh, Roman Reigns glove, but it was still cool to finally be there. It was like the WWE World Convention and the Superstore. But that's about it. That's my first time at Wrestlemania. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for Red Rose and the Maestro for being here. So feel free to follow XXC Podcast on all streaming platforms, even YouTube. Follow me on Xavion Excellence on all social media. Follow RedRoseFGC on Instagram. You want to plug the gaming center?
RedRoseFGC across all platforms: Twitch, Facebook group, YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter.
And the Maestro, do you want to plug your social media?
Absolutely. Follow me at maestro_of_pw on Instagram. What the Maestro is doing and where he's wrestling and who he's.
Cool. Can't wait to see what he does. And shout out to Cats Point Philly. Thank you, everyone. XXC signing off.